Hi, in this video I want to show you all about the gear menu on Appli. What I have open here is just a sample that I made for another video. It's not really an app, it was just throwing away some elements and actions so that I could show the variable viewer and also how to debug low-code issues, that kind of stuff. But it works for this video. So the gear menu, located here, just a second, is the settings menu. And it has this kind of tabbed navigation with different sections that allows you to change different settings of both your app and Appli in general. We are going to go over each of these tabs in order to talk about all the features we have in here. As you know, you use Appli to develop the app, and you use Appli Player to run the app. You can tell your clients or your co-workers or your friends or whoever is the audience for your app to pick Appli Player. And then from inside Appli Player, they can load your app without the need of passing through an App Store approval process. What you do is you give them this code. The app code is what is used to load an app into the Appli Player. They type this code and the app loads. You can click here to get the Appli Player for desktop, available for both Windows and Mac, and also available for Android and iOS. This code will load the app in any of your Appli Player versions. So to recap, the first tab gives you access to the code. Clicking copy will copy it to your clipboard so that, for example, if you have Appli Player running here on the desktop, you could just paste it. When you have apps in Appli Player, they show as an array of icons, much like the home screen on your phone. You can change the icon for your app here. You have a guideline of how to develop your icon, and you can just click on the icon to add a new icon. You can get it from your designer or buy an icon online and just add it here by clicking on the icon itself. Appli Connect is the feature that powers a lot of our internet communications inside Appli. You can use it to load maps from Google Maps, and you use it also to power our AI features. For doing that, you're going to need a Google Maps API key or an OpenAI key. You can get them from Google Maps or OpenAI, and you're going to paste your keys here. You need to add your own keys if you're going to use any of our AI features or your Maps features. The General tab is about the behavior of Appli Builder. So basically, if you want to see off-screen elements, let me give you an example of off-screen elements. Like if I pick this and I move off-screen. So the screen is here, the element's here. Do I want to see it or not? If you select this, then you don't see it anymore. I find it very useful to see off-screen elements. Nudge amount is how much an element moves when you nudge it. Nudge it is like pressing the arrow keys. So this is a small nudge, this is a larger nudge, and this is a medium one. And you can change the values for that there, like how much they move. Hover Assist is the feature that shows a little bubble of help when you keep your mouse somewhere. Like for example, on an element. If you keep it here for long enough, this little bubble, that's Hover Assist. If you don't like Hover Assist, you can disable. Americans use a date format that's month, day, years, and most of the rest of the world uses something else. So basically here you can select the default date and time format for your app. Depending on the region you are or the kind of data you're working with, you're going to need to set it. The low-code editor preferences is all about how actions are displayed in the low-code editor. You can basically change all the aspects of it, all the colors, all the font sizes, all the scroll speed, everything about the low-code editor, so that it's a welcoming and cozy experience for your development. You can make it yours by putting a color scheme that makes sense for you. The Player tab is about configuring how the Appli player behaves when it loads your app. For example, you might have an app that's like a brochure with different screens just serving as marketing for some business, for example. In these cases, instead of adding like a button for navigation, you might just allow the user to swipe between screens, like dragging and drop. And to allow that, you click here, allow swipe to switch screens. Depending on how your UI works, your app, even if it's not a brochure, might work that way. You can also configure which orientations are supported by your app. If you just want to develop your app on one orientation, you can disable the other one here. And then what happens is that the Appli player will not rotate, even if they rotate the phone or tablet. Appli player gives access to different apps. So your user might have multiple apps there on their player, and they show up in a little kind of home screen with icons per app. To go back from running your app into the home screen, there are 3 different ways. We can keep a little icon, which is like a little bubble on the screen, and if they click that, they get a menu. Or we can remove that from the screen and select long press, which means that if they do a long press anywhere that's not a clickable element on your app, then the menu will pop up. Or we can select triple tap, where they tap 3 times and then the menu appears. There is a compatibility here so that in case you are using actions that are new and your user is using an Appli player that's old and does not contain those actions, for example, you can select this to prevent the app from running. And you have some options here to configure the colors and the dialog icon for all the dialogues that appear, such as saving something in the Appli player. Every time that you show a dialog with a little icon, you can have it set here. And the last one is the Save to Disk. This allows you to set the options when saving this app to a file. Because remember, Appli always save your app to our cloud. So in Appli Cloud, your app is safe. But suppose that you want to share the app to another developer. You want to give the app for them to work, and then they will give it back. So the easiest way to do that is to save it to a file that you can give to them in your chat app or email or a thumb drive. It's up to you. But here you can select what are the settings. If you want to save the whole project or just the app, if you want to include the users associated with the app, and also the media associated with the app, and also the tables. Or also if you want to password protect the app. So that's all selected here. And then you press Save to Disk, type in the file name, and then it's saved. And a funny thing just happened now as I record this video. I think that my mouse ran out of batteries. I can no longer control the mouse, so I'm stretching my hand across the camera and everything to reach my touchpad, which is more information than you needed, but it was funny. So this is basically how it works. This is all the settings in the gear menu. They allow you to configure your app, Appli itself, and also how the player behaves when it's loaded with your app. It also allows you to export your app to a file so that you can have, for example, backups, or you can share them with a colleague. If you need any help with any of those settings, reach out to us in our forums. I'll be happy to help you.